Hello, folks. Phil Gallagher of ThrabenU here for another legacy video. Before I get started here, I just want to thank you all for liking and commenting on last week's videos. One of my videos reached north of 20,000 views, which is absolutely phenomenal, and I'm so happy with that. What you did mattered. Thank you for it. If you want to keep doing it, I'm not gonna say no. All right. Courtesy gave me a dealer's choice donation deck list, and I have chosen to play Food Chain Goblins. So a lot of times I shy away from food chain decks because the Mist Hollow Griffin food chain loop is really annoying. But this deck isn't gonna do quite the same thing, so I think I'm good with it. In case you're not familiar with food chain, let's start there. Exile a creature you control to add one more than that creature's converted mana cost worth of mana to your mana pool, but you can only use it to cast creature spells. Now, if you are in a Goblins deck, though, where basically all of your cards are creatures, that's totally fine. That's just mana. The idea is you can play something like a Goblin Matron, tutor up the thing you want to play, sacrifice the Matron to the food chain, play the thing. And if the thing you got was, say, a Goblin Ringleader that gives you more cards, like you play Goblin Ringleader for 4 mana, you turn it into 5 mana, you play some of the things that you just got with it, and it can get kind of gross. This deck is going to attack from a couple of different angles. We can be a Muxus big dumb go wide goblin strategy deck, and we can cheat Muxus into play either with Food Chain or just with Goblin Lackey the good old fashioned way. But we also have a different combo here. We also have the Conspicuous Snoop combo. So Snoop here can have the activated ability of the top card of your library as long as it is a goblin. The idea is you have a Kiki-Jiki Mirror Breaker on top of your library. Okay? So you can use that with the Conspicuous Snoop ability to make more Conspicuous Snoops that also have Kiki-Jiki's ability and are hasty. Okay? Following so far? And then we are going to sacrifice all of those things using Sling-Gang Lieutenant to drain our opponent out. The thing that kind of holds this together is Boggart Harbinger. Note this is only a 2 of in the deck. But Kiki-Jiki is something that would probably be in the deck anyway. Conspicuous Snoop is like a medium quality cards in Goblins. Like it's totally fine to be playing. I think it's better in the food chain lists for what that's worth. So essentially, you play Snoop, you play a Harbinger, you put Kiki-Jiki on top, you go you make a whole bunch of these, and then the last time you go ahead and you copy this, and you end up putting Sling-Gang Lieutenant on top, and then there's the draining. So it's a pretty cool combo. We are just barely a 3-color deck. Ignoble Hierarch is a goblin, so we essentially have our own Bird of Paradise, and this allows for some neat things in the sideboard, like Carpet of Flowers that normally wouldn't be there. Also, just in case you're wondering, why, there's a lot of Blue-Red Delver online, folks. That best deck is best deck, and it's starting to be warping, and people are just conceding and just okay, fine, I will play the Pyroclasm, or not the Pyroclasms, I will play the Pyroblasts in the main deck. Most of the rest of the sideboard is kind of for combo. We have Ley Lines, Pyroblasts, Red Elemental Blasts for combos. We have things like Carpet of Flowers to help us get Muxus in play versus, say, a Daze deck or something like that. And then we have a fun one, War and Weirding. Target player sacrifices a creature. If a goblin is sacrificed this way, you get 2 goblin tokens. So you can target yourself with that, although that's probably going to be a removal spell for something scary like a Murktide Regent. Anyway, folks, I hope you'll enjoy the video. If you're new here and you're a first-time viewer, if you like what you see, please subscribe. If you're a regular, throw me a like or throw me a comment after you watch the video. Those sorts of things are literally the best way to support my content for free, as is evidenced by my 23,000 some odd views that I got on one of my videos last week when you all put in the work. All right, let's battle. Also, I don't remember if I said this explicitly in the intro or not, but this deck list is by someone named Grumpsh, who historically has had some pretty cool deck lists. I am on the draw here with a hand that can do neat things. I wish I had one more land. I think with 2 draw steps to hit a land or a Chrome Mox, I'm okay with keeping this. But this is not an optimal hand. Okay, if we're playing against Dark Depths, I may be in trouble. Goblin. That's, the cool thing here is that my Cavern of Souls taps for all 5 colors of mana uncounterably. And, ow. Oh, are we playing against Pox? I really don't like this hand versus Pox. Uh-oh. Anyway, finishing the thought. It's all 5 colors uncounterably, and colorless, and black off Urborg. It's a lot of activated abilities. I mean, technically, it's not a lot of activated abilities, but like Magic Online has to put it that way. With this food chain gone, I'm in trouble. Because essentially, my plan was like hierarch into food chain, and then just like dump a Muxus into play that turn. Like that was my plan. Oh wow, not food chain. Okay, that's tough. So I get to go up to 2 mana here, which unfortunately doesn't do anything other than can deal 2 damage to a target if I so desire. I'm going to get in these points of damage while I can, because pretty soon the Mishra's Factory is going to be held back. I cannot overstate enough how crippling a Smallpox will be. Wasteland's bad. Smallpox would have been worse. My opponent does still have to win the game. Like, Mishra's Factory is a 10-turn clock. Like, that's totally fine. Like, especially when I have Twin Shot Sniper, so that, like, as soon as I draw another land, I can just answer that thing. It'll look a little suspicious when I pivot. Ooh, that'll end the game. That'll absolutely end the game. To Turok, that's fine. It's obviously good. Alright. I guess I just hold this. My opponent's probably not attacking with Mishra's Factory. They're probably using their mana for Urza Saga. So I'm not going to hold up Twin Shot Sniper right now. Oh, it's not an Urza Saga activation. It's a Karn. Absolutely. What are they going to get? I have a Walking Ballista. That would be pretty bad for me. Or... Jesus. Okay. Pyroblast. I'm really not dead yet. I'm in horrible shape. But I'm not technically dead. So I don't think I am going to concede. I think I have to fetch here in case my opponent has Pithing Needle, just by the way. Okay, there's the activation. I just need to make sure this gets my proper colors. I need green and red, because there's going to be a lot of worlds where this thing ends up dying. Alright. How bad is it? First scroll. Back the tech. By the way, since I didn't explicitly say this, hedging against Delver is not free, right? Okay. Okay. Fine. I'm not really mad about it, but like I kept a land light hand with double mana dork. My first mana dork got answered. My opponent had triple wasteland, and I was pretty light on drawing additional lands. That's okay. That was a non-game. I'm not super great here in terms of like sideboarding. Like my Goblin Trashmaster absolutely comes in. Masked Vandal is like okay. Agus and Fury are like technically playable, but both kind of eh. I'll probably bring this in. The cards are pretty reasonable. That one just like didn't work out. I might go down 1 combo piece. It's harder to assemble like those sorts of combos versus yeah, keep. There's gonna be a lackey on 1, and I am not gonna play out any Chrome Mox in here because if my opponent goes Dark Ritual into him to Turok, I want to have more cards in my hand, so it's less likely that my opponent hits my Muxus. Alright, my opponent has gone to 5. And I am just going to get a basic here. My opponent has showed me Uku Wasteland. What do you have? Thoughtseize. Okay. I mean, Goblin Lackey into a Ringleader connection is still very good, right? Yep. As expected, there is the Muxus. I am not 100% sure what I will be doing with that Wooded Foothills yet. So I think I am going to go ahead and just crack in with the Lackey here. And then put in my Ringleader. I have found another Ringleader. Those food chains are going to the bottom. I'm going to shuffle them back in. Alright. So let's crack this. I think I'm far enough ahead where I don't have to worry about Wasteland right now. I'm just going to go ahead and grab Taiga. Alright, Arid Mesa on top. Don't really want that. Don't really have a lot of choice about it. Yeah, there's an Urza Saga. That's going to be pretty slow. Okay. Yeah. Oh god, that's so awkward. Um, it's fine. So I just attack, right? And then I put it in my hand with Goblin Ringleader. And I wonder if I was supposed to get Badlands next turn for this exact, like, niche situation. Let's crash in and see if this Lackey gets to connect. Okay, it does. I'll put in Ringleader. Okay, there's a Boggart Harbinger, a Hierarch, and a Sling-Gang Lieutenant. I will go ahead and fetch. There are two. Yeah, okay, there are two Sling-Gang Lieutenants. The Kiki-Jiki is still in deck. That's good. Alright. Let's go Badlands. Play Boggart Harbinger. Yes. Oh, I fucked this up. I shouldn't have attacked with Snoop. Okay, so I need to set a stop in my upkeep to do this. That's probably fine. If I eat a Toxic Deluge here, it's super awkward. Yeah, okay, so I was not supposed to attack with this so that this could be untapped. Okay. Did my opponent... Okay, my opponent just floated a mana prior to that trigger resolving, so they don't get to undo that anymore. Kind of weird. Maybe they thought their Urza Saga was one turn ahead. Liliana is totally fine. I will sacrifice a creature. One of these ringleaders. Okay, so upkeep. Tap. Make a conspicuous Snoop. Repeat this process. I can just repeatedly keep clicking on the same one. Eee! This is fun. This is also like way faster than a normal food chain combo off. Yeah. I could also just like kill my opponent in the red zone probably, but doesn't feel necessary. Alright. Alright. I guess I can draw now, right? Yeah, this is fine to just draw now. Okay. I will go ahead and throw Mox. Throw Noble Hierarch under it. I'll just cast this one. And let the draining begin. Alright. Yeah. Save targets. Looks like. Oh well. That's fine. Whee! Alright. Absolute murder here. And through the power of editing, our opponent is instantly dead. Okay, let's do that again. So if I didn't have one of these in hand, the other way that I can combo here is tap this, copy this, fetch the other one of these from my deck. It's on top of my library, and then I can go ahead and just do the same thing that I just did. Okay, no changes here. Given that the way I'm probably losing this matchup is mana denial, I'm just gonna keep this hand. So like kind of awkwardly, I have to lead on these two lands if I want to play Snoop, and my Ancient Tomb isn't doing anything super fast in a lot of those lines, but I think that, hell yeah. Alright. Goblin. Lackey was a primo top deck there. And I can remove this top now. I won't need that. Mana base is a little greedy of this deck, I think. Like, I have 4 lands and I can't activate a Boseiju, for example. And, like, there's a Karakas in my 3-color deck that also includes things like Ancient Tomb. That's kind of tough. I'm going to junk the Masked Vandal here, I think. I think my Boseiju is going to become a land in a lot of worlds. I don't like that this is my only red source right now, and things become very awkward if I get wastelanded, but I need to play towards red for Snoop. That's fine. Hey, I played towards red for Snoop. And then I can start doing Goblin Ringleader stuff next turn. Do I want another Badlands? No, I probably want Taiga for Boseiju. Alright. There's a world where I have the ability to discard this to deal 2 damage to any target. I just thought you all should know. But Phil, you can't discard a card that's in play. Shh. I'm very happy that that got a spell, considering that my opponent has a Curse Scroll in play. That's a big win for me. All right, time to refuel. So hopefully we draw a few cards here. That qualifies. Phallic Mons, Skark Prospector. The rest of those can go on the bottom in any order. I have made my land drop. Made my land drop. Eat 2. Phallic Mons is a pretty respectable card here. Just helps me out against potential sweeper effects and makes my goblins do more, like, pinging damage. What are you doing with your Urza Saga? Okay, they are going to make a token, which is cool. That actually probably sets me up for a really neat line. What? You legit have a single curse scroll? Oh, wow. Okay. Wow. I'm going to go ahead and remove that. Use a red mana to play out a Skark Prospector. I will keep this Boseiju as a removal spell. It's a little awkward right now. In that, like, I would like to be making land drops, and, like, just using this potentially costs me life or makes it so that I can't be playing some of these other things. But I want to potentially answer this card. Awkward. I will pay for both of these this turn. I'll take my draw and then kind of go from there in regards to what I do. Alright. Let's play Phallic Mons. Crash in for 3 points of damage. So I have Skark Prospector, Pashalic Mons now, which means, like, I have 3 damage at the ready. Do some really neat things if I draw a Food Chain. Alright, there is a Dark Ritual. Part of the reason why I didn't want to just immediately remove this Curse Scroll is that my opponent was kind of choked on mana a little bit. I think I get rid of Skark Prospector here. It's just explicitly less powerful, right? Just in terms of raw power level. It means I don't have the instant combo finish. I think that's okay. All right, you're going for that. That will kill Pashalic Mons. That's fine. Okay. Got a Hymn to Turok. That's fine. Bring you to 10. We'll pay for that. Am I just beating Curse Scroll by playing a Goblin Ringleader? I probably am. Like, a lot of gas. Okay. You can protect from edicts. Playing you into a Tabernacle is kind of weird, though. Yeah, I'm actually not going to do that. I will play the land. All right, opponent's at 6. Okay, they drew a land so they can activate Curse Scroll and kill one of these. Okay, they're going for that. Sure. Still got the only card that mattered in my hand. And I'll pay for both of these. Cost 1 colorless less to cast. Doesn't matter here. So there's a War Chief with 6 damage on board. We'll go ahead and just crash on in and kill our opponent. GG's, Noble Pox player. You tried your best. Alright, round 2, we've been paired against a Yorion deck, which usually but not always means Death and Taxes. My opening hand is probably a mulligan here. Like, I have a lot of lands, which is nice, but I have nothing to pair with this Chromux, and Conspicuous Snoop is not great versus, like, Swords to Plowshares, Skyclave, Solitude. Like, I'm just not guaranteed to get my value. I think I'm going to mulligan and try to find something a little more aggressive. This is it. This is unfortunate when I'm on the draw. This is real hot when I'm on the play, but on the draw, this Goblin Lackey just gets brick-walled a good portion of the time. I think given that I have a very powerful thing that I can do, I just keep this. All right. Do you have a 1-drop play? The answer is very frequently no. For these Death and Taxes decks in the Yorion versions. There can still be, like, a Swords to Plowshares or something that I get eaten by here, but when you have a larger deck, your chances of just, like, drawing something like the Ether Vial immediately goes down a decent amount. Yeah, right. So, like, this is the difference for, like, play versus draw here. Now I'm just gonna try to end up in a situation where I can get through. There's honestly not a great chance of that happening. In all likelihood, I am going to try and win this game via combo, rather than by just getting a Muxus into the red zone off Goblin Lackey. Actually, that may not be the worst. Okay, there's a Swords to Plowshares. For 2 mana, though. Yeah, this actually isn't that bad now, because I'm going to have 2 Goblin Lackeys in play, and I can end up in a situation where I attack with 2 of them and try to cheat a Muxus into play. Yeah, opponent's Thalia was a little awkward for them. Like, they obviously needed to play it, and it saved their bacon. Um, Touch now, Matron now. Take a quick look at my deck list. Ignore that one. I have a Munitions Expert that I can get. I have a Twin Shot Sniper that I can get. I think I'm going to go for mana efficiency here and go ahead and do the Goblin Matron thing. Alright. I can also just get Twin Shot Sniper. Actually, if I get Twin Shot Sniper, I can do that and Lackey next turn. And it's okay if I get Wastelanded off of black. Yeah, let's do that. So I want to keep my opponent in this stage of the game where their resources are a little limited. With 4th land, Swords to Plowshares becomes something that I care about. Alright, they're just passing the turn. I think I'm okay with doing this still. Maybe that's not true. I lose my option if I don't do it now. But I can just, like, make my opponent hold up this Caracas for another turn and just play out another Goblin Lackey. Yeah, I'm fine with it. Okay. Wish they had tapped a different one, but that's fine. Like, I'm trying to play a pseudo-controlling role here. I'm just trying to pressure my opponent's resources in an awkward way. They end of turn Swords to Plowshares me. They have to leave this Caracas up again, and I can put them to the test to make them have 2 different removal spells. Okay. And now we wait. Yeah, they did not have an end of turn Swords to Plowshares. Okay, there's a 5th land. So we can start getting into Hardcast Solitude territory. I don't mind dragging this game on. Like, my opponent has Yorion, but I have 2 Muxus in hand. I feel like I frequently end up on the better side of that equation. Not always. Alright, what are you going with? A Skyclave. Sure. That will take out a Lackey. That's fine. Again, I'm intending on winning the matchup via combo. Like, I can let my opponent do this stuff. It's okay. I think I am going to take this off the battlefield so my opponent can't blink this, though. I think I'm just good with that happening. Okay, so I will get a 1/1 token for my trouble. Okay, fantastic. Alright. Play an Ignoble Hierarch. I can attack with 2/2s. That doesn't beat Thalia in combat. This is fine. A top deck land on any turn where my opponent doesn't board me means that I just cast one of the 2 Muxuses that's in my hand. And I don't care about this card. Like, Muxus is going to generate a disgusting amount of value. Alright, what are you doing? Are you just putting your into hand, or do you have real cards? Ooh, a Recruiter. That means good things for my opponent. Getting a Solitude. Oh. Oh, I don't think I like that. Okay, wow, that is very aggressive. Wow, okay. So my opponent will then port me down. My opponent has tapped poorly, right? A Kiki-Jiki. Not great right now. Not overstate how good of a draw Food Chain is. Food Chain allows me to play Muxus into Muxus. Okay, they've ripped another Recruiter. Getting a Flicker Wisp. Sure. Are you going for it? You've been denying my mana no matter what this game so far. So it seems kind of weird if this person would just, like, start pivoting now. Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. I'll take 2. So that puts me to 17. Okay, they're not doing anything else with their turn. I'll get boarded off Badlands. Tapped correctly this turn. Given looming Yorion, I'm probably supposed to attack with at least the illusion, if not both. My opponent won't trade off both recruiters. They could trade off one. I think I'm just going to poke with the illusion. Like, I want the matron around for food chain based reasons later. That's fine. And there's my lackey. Also, opponent is in trouble if we go to 3 games. Who's coming in the red zone? I assume just Thalia. Oh, nope. Okay. Alright, there's the Flicker Wisp. I'll probably flicker a Recruiter. Okay. I'm going to now assume that my opponent is new to this deck. Like my opponent is playing slowly, and like it seems pretty obvious to me that taking a recruiter based line is better than removing a 1/1 token permanently. I get to Goblin Matron. Figure out what I'm doing with my life. Probably Skirk Prospector, which I am just going to play out now. I am 1 mana short here of being able to just immediately make a Muxus. Now, my opponent has absolutely disgusting lines available to this turn. Available to them this turn. We'll see what they are able to see and do. This Yorion should be happening post Flicker Wisp attack, though, like for sure. Okay, they figured that out. I'll take 3 here, going to 14. Here we go. All right, there's the Yorion. So my opponent gets to blank Wisp Recruiter. And then they can Recruiter for Solitude plus some other white card, remove my Skirk Prospector so I can't put Muxus in. Oh my god. Okay. So in case you're not familiar with this card, there's any number of other non-land permanents you control. Right, they have gotten a Solitude. Okay, there is Solitude pitching a Stoneforge Mystic. My opponent could have had active Jitte that turn. Fine. I'm just going to take the life here. Ancient Tomb. Fine. Goblin Warchief is a very good draw. So now these effectively cost 5, which means any top deck land will put me into good shape. Now my opponent has like Yorion bounce with Caracas lines available to them. In addition to the Rashad and Port stuff. I should have 0 chance here. But we'll see. We're definitely at the shit can happen stage of the game. So I go down to 8. And that's a Timeless Dragon. Okay, so my opponent is just trying to kill me in the air. Will probably succeed here. I've just gotten absolutely stuck on mana this game. Give them one more thing to think about. Go ahead and just throw this in here and just wait. Like I'm dead. I am unquestionably dead. But opponent is not playing with their clock in mind at all, so gonna just take advantage of that. So they'll swing in for a billion in the air. I will not block. However, I will make a copy of Goblin Matron. I'm going to use this ability, and I'm just going to show them another Matron. I don't need to show them a new card here. All right, I have died. I still believe that the inevitability of my Muxus is much greater than the inevitability of Yorion, but shit happened. All right, I would like Fury. I would like Goblin Trash Master. Masked Vandal and Warden Weirding are playable. I absolutely have to cut this Pyroblast for this. That's my starting point. From there, I've got options. On the draw, I might just completely eliminate Goblin Lackeys. I don't think I want to do that on the play. Do I want to touch this stuff? Kiki-Jiki is a bad mana investment versus a Caracas deck, but the combo kill is cool. I need Fury. The other 2 cards are optional. I guess Pashalik Mons is pretty optional too. Like that's also bad versus Caracas, right? But that doesn't outright kill. Let's do this. Card's medium. Not always going to be easy to have a card in my graveyard for it versus an exile-based removal deck. This hand has a lot of mana but does nothing. I'm gonna go ahead and mulligan this. And it has a lot of mana and maybe we'll do something eventually. I will keep this one. I think pitching Badlands in this situation. I'm just going to lead on Taiga here. Like, I know that it's wastelandable. But for that to matter, my opponent has to Solitude me and Wasteland me. And I would like to not have basic Forest in this matchup. Okay. Am I eating a Swords? I'm not eating a Swords. Fantastic. Let's save my fetch lands here, I think. Caracas. a medium draw. I don't really want that. I don't mind it as long as Snoop stays in play. My turn 1 mana dork didn't get eaten by my opponent, so I'm probably good until turn 3. Probably. So fetch lands with Snoop means that I can take a couple of looks at the top cards of my deck here in order to try and play things. Force the Plowshares on an ignoble hierarch over the Snoop. Okay, that's fantastic. I will go ahead and play my Lackey off of here. And I will fetch this away. I don't want to draw that. So let's fetch. Grab a Taiga, I guess. Another Lackey. Fantastic. Cavern is a bad draw. Yeah, I'll bash in for my 3 with Snoop. Once that's 17. So I'm hoping to hit a Goblin Ringleader as the card that's either underneath Cavern of Souls or that's on top of my library after a fresh shuffle. Okay, port's fine. A little annoying for a couple of my lines, but my opponent might end up playing to the board. Yeah. Solitude is annoying. Okay. Going after a Goblin Lackey. Okay, to be fair, my opponent doesn't know what's in my hand, right? That's actually probably reasonable. But I think this Snoop should have left play the first time. Fine. Ooh. That's tough. That's very tough. I'm not going to attack with Goblin Lackey into that vial. Just going to do the same amount of damage while playing around most creatures other than like Sarah Avenger. Alright, opponent goes to 14. I think I am going to play Caracas here. And call it a turn. Okay. I didn't eat an end of turn Thalia or anything like that. Fine. Someone's got a Caracas of their own. They can kindly replay my Muxus for me. Or bounce it so I can replay it, rather. Not sure if I should go for a Goblin Lackey attack. Okay. Are you going for a Flicker Wisp line here? Sure. Are you taking out my Lackey? They are taking out my Lackey for a turn. That's totally fine. Okay, that's fine. So I'm going to go ahead and fetch to clear the top cards of my library. Grab the Badlands, I guess. Forest on top is not great for me, but not the end of the world. Don't think I want to trade Snoop for Flicker Wisp. I don't think I want to trade Noble Hierarch for Flicker Wisp. I'm going to go ahead and call it there. So I'm going to try to put myself in this situation where I get Muxus into play either via Goblin Lackey or via just hard casting it. Okay, that vial is staying at 3. Why don't you come down here? That's fine for me. I assume that Flicker Wisp can't get in the red zone here. They're too scared. Very happy to know they just have more lands. So they're going to port me so that I can't play Muxus this turn. And then I think I will get in there with a 2/2 Lackey and force the trade for Flicker Wisp. Sure. Ancient Tomb, though. Not Ancient Tomb. Goblin Warchief is cool. Totally happy with that, in fact. Play Forest into Goblin Warchief. Go ahead and attack with the 2/2 Lackey. Attempt to... Oh shit, I should have attacked with the Warchief too. No, actually, no, I do not want to trade the Warchief. Right, because the Warchief just makes it, like, significantly easier to cast this Muxus that I've been sandbagging all game. Well, not sandbagging, that I've been trying to get into play all game, rather. Oh my god, they're just letting it fucking happen? Oh wait, no, never mind. One too many stops. Oh my god, they are just letting it fucking happen. Holy shit. Okay. There's my Muxus. Okay. Yeah, there's double Goblin Matron. Yes, I will use this ability. I'm gonna get a Wind Shot Sniper, one of those, and get a second Muxus in case that one gets exiled. I think I will. Okay, cool. So in their upkeep, I will probably just blast the Flicker Wisp immediately. Like, if my opponent had more interaction, like I already would be toast. Okay, my opponent is conceding there. They've got less than 5 minutes on the clock. Given that amount of time, I'm gonna board in a Masked Vandal here. Or down one Chrome Mox, maybe. Don't love it versus Flicker Wisps. Helps me catch up on the draw a little bit. Helps me get towards the Muxus, but I think upwards of 90% of the time I win based on time here. This hand is medium minus. It doesn't have black mana, and it doesn't have enough land. Like, I technically have 3 mana, but one of those is kind of bad mana. I think I'm just going to mulligan this one. Yikes. I think I am going to keep it, assuming that starting on 2 basic lands and giving me stable mana to get into the mid game will be fine because I draw something that matters. Mother of Runes is annoying versus my Goblin Lackey start. Yep. Play versus draw, it matters. Actually, this might be fine still, right? I'm going to grab a basic mountain here. I do not want to get wastelanded right now. And play out a Goblin Lackey. And I can try to get rid of this Mother of Runes next turn in a lot of situations. Not all of them, in a lot of situations. Nice, I've played around Wasteland successfully here. Alright, opponent's just holding up mana. Matron's cool. Am I going for the Goblin Lackey attack? No, I think it's too risky versus, like, a handful of things. I think I'm just gonna chill. My opponent doesn't do anything I can consider end of turn munitions expert, but it gets me wastelanded if I do that. Skyclave is fine. Just gonna let that occur, I think. That's fine. Actually, let's turn off auto yields. Jesus. I mean, sure. Oh my god, I have double Badlands in play, so that line doesn't actually work. I'll have to do it on my turn. That's unfortunate. At that point, I probably... Oh, Forest is fine. Alright, I'll take one. Oh, that's a fantastic draw. Cavern of Souls is kind of a tri-land. I keep that one. Let's go, yeah. I guess technically I should do it this way because of Solitude mattering. Alright, goodbye, Mother of Runes. Yes, I will use that ability. Could also, like, not be F6ing through my opponent's turns anymore. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, there's another Plains. And that's Yori into hand. Absolutely fine with that. I mean, yeah, you can absolutely hit me. You take the same amount back. I'm fine with that. What do I want here? Am I just getting a Muxus? I can just get a Muxus. And I'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I can just cast a Muxus next turn. I am good with that. I won't go. I think getting Ringleader is also reasonable. Muxus is my inevitability here. There's my Exalted. You're at 18. The best thing about Muxus is, like, unless my opponent is very specifically playing around Ancient Tomb, they are not going to be expecting it this turn. Like, if they can Wasteland or Port, they will probably do so. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so this is a big decision. Alright, they're going to deny me mana. That's fine at the end of the day. It's good. But my opponent is going to need another... Wow. They are going to need another Wasteland or Port come end of turn. Goblin Matron is fine. I can fetch out an answer to Jitte. Does it have to be a creature for this thing? Yeah, it has to be a creature. Yeah, but I can set that up though. Yeah, that's fine. Goblin Matron. Yes. Oh shit, I could have just twin shot snipered. Thought I used that already. This is fine though. I don't even think I attack. I just hold back bodies. Another Wasteland. The third in a row. That's fine. I'm going to jump. I don't know how competent my opponent is. And when I don't know how competent they are, I'm just going to take that line. Like, I don't know whether or not they would know to not put a creature into my graveyard immediately so that I can't Masked Vandal and blow up that Jitte. Like, I don't know if they know that. Okay. Little constrained on mana here. Not that big of a deal. Yes. Exile an ignoble hierarch. Crash in for 1. Alright, they're at 17. Recruiter's very good. But now we're just physically at the point where my opponent probably can't win in 30 seconds, right? I have a 1-3 in play. Absolutely. Okay. I'll go ahead and fetch here. Out of black mana sources. Okay, yeah, my opponent has thrown in the towel. I should not have won this match, right? Like, my opponent is, like, very clearly new to the deck, and I started playing 2 timeout from game 1 because of that. I don't know if they are winning this game, more generally speaking, but, like, they should have been in better shape. Alright, I will be keeping this hand. It has the possibility of going turn 1 Lackey into turn 2 Muxus. I'm also on the play. Look, don't play this deck if you're not willing to keep these. Also, by the way, there are food chains in my deck, right? I've played some very long games and have never drawn a food chain. I have seen a food chain off of, like, mulligans or maybe, like, cards I looked at with Muxus or something, but I've never innately just gotten one. I could also spend a long time thinking about this land drop, but I'm just going to not put them to the test. We live in a prismatic ending. Oh, hello. Oh, one of those decks. Let's go. A ball rich. Oh, Jesus, is this storm going off on turn 1? Sure is. Okay. The opponent has 4 mana so far from the things that they can do. Okay, this is not a kill yet. Because they only, or no, hold on. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. They can grape shot, kill my lackey, and restart the game. What do I even have for, like, a TES or Burning Ant matchup? Not a lot. We're just looking to not play these, basically. I imagine we're at kill territory. 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. That's neutral. Yeah, this should be a kill at this point. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Threshold is happening. 9 total mana. Storm is 7. Yeah, Storm is lethal already. Yeah, I'm dead. I think I'm going to concede to the duress because I know that, or rather, my opponent doesn't know about my pyroblasts. Yeah, there is the tendrils. So I will go ahead and concede there. Jesus. So, like, I had the turn 2 on the play, my opponent had the turn 1 on the draw. That's some shit. I don't think I really want to be playing ley lines. I'm probably not going to get a creature in graveyard for this. This is probably too slow to matter. So I'm probably going to play 3 blast effects. I might play Trashmaster and Magus as well. Twin Shot Sniper does not seem good here. Munitions Expert is unnecessary. I board in all of these. I need to board out 4 more cards. Am I supposed to board out this stuff? Like, it's a combo kill. I can technically have it on turn 3 when everything aligns perfectly. Maybe I shouldn't do that. So maybe I don't do this Trash Master thing. Maybe that's just too clunky. I'm trying to steal games here. And probably, like, not play Pashalic Mons. At this point, I am looking to these as cuts, though. I don't know. Like, I could probably go down on some Ringleaders. But, like, Ringleader is one of the things that lets me combo off with Food Chain non-deterministically. I could also, like, not play Magus. Magus is a way to steal games, but I don't know. Maybe I'm trying to get my opponent dead on the play. Like, there are literally, like, 0 dedicated cards in the sideboard for this matchup, right? I will be keeping this. It is a medium hand. I will Pyroblast literally any cantrip that I have the opportunity to Pyroblast, play a Snoop, and then hope I can do some cool shit with Matron. I guess Matron gets me the thing that puts stuff on top of my library. I just cast that, put Kiki on top, and combo off. The turn 4, not great. Opponent apparently has a pretty tough mulligan decision here. Okay, they did keep on 7. The funny thing is, I think my opponent went off on turn 1 last time with 0 pyroblastable cards, if memory serves. So, you know, this is definitely medium minus hate. All right. Am I dead? Feels like I'm dead. Uh-huh. If it's randomly just like an echo, like I'm totally good with that. Ball ritual is fine. Ball ritual is fine. These aren't thresholded. Shit, my opponent is just gonna make goblins here. Oh no, for black. Oh, they're going to add Naws. Again, 0 pyroblastable cards thus far. Yeah, that is a turn 1 add Naws 2 games in a row. And let me tell you, as someone who has played a decent amount of Storm, that's not super common. All right. So, Mana Vapor. Okay. Opponent has not hit that much mana. Like, as far as things to happen, this is fine. Opponent's not at. It might not be fine anymore. Land, Dark Ritual, 3 mana, Burning Wish, or L. Yeah. Dead. I think I'm dead now. 7, 8, 9, 10 is lethal. Okay, they're going. That should guarantee it. Okay. Yeah, nice hate card, idiot. There's Lotus Petal, Dark Ritual. Next is LED. There it is. So now, depending on what zones their cards are in, they will Infernal Tutor or Burning Wish. In response, crack LED. All right, there we go. So this means that they have a Tendrils in deck. There it is. And we're going to help them out here. Gonna counter target spell if it's blue. You know, yeah. Shit. Tendrils isn't blue. They're Tendrils. Why would they not be blue? Okay, that's my opponent had some absolute nut draws, and this is a hard matchup to start with. Like my turn 2 on the play wasn't good enough, and neither was my turn 1 Pyroblast. Ugh. Hey folks, Phil here. I've taken some of my precious time to stop playing Elden Ring to record some sweet magic videos for you. So if you would do something to support me, like throwing me a like or a comment or doing a donation deck list, I would love that. Because, this bosses, they're not going to kill themselves. I've got work to do. I'm like 100 hours deep. I'm not even close to done yet. All right, back to the show. Keep? This is a bit of a weird one. In that, like, I have the food chains for a change. But like, I played Taiga on turn 1. Go turn 2 Matron, get like a ringleader. Turn 2 play food chain. Matron gets me to 4. Junk that, and then try to food chain my way up to a turn 2 Muxus, but I have to risk either Ancient Tomb or Taiga in order to do that. Do it in the inverse order and play food chain first. Yes, that's fine. Okay. That's potentially a control fetch land. Like, I'll probably be able to tell instantly. Like, there's a very big difference between, like, basic, like, snow-covered plains and volcanic island here, right? Yep. Snow-covered island. So I believe I will just go ahead and Ancient Tomb jam food chain. I won't immediately be in danger of Prismatic Ending just eating it. Wonder what my opponent thinks I'm on with Forest Pass, because Forest Pass isn't very typical of elves. So, might be thinking like Cloud Post or something like that. Not that it matters, because like once I play a food chain, like the cat is out of the fucking bag, right? Ooh, it's stuck. Yeah, I could just try to combo off next turn. Absolutely. All right, ponder away. A wasteland. Absolutely. That's annoying for me. This Delver with a basic. I'm gonna fetch around a Stifle here. Like, that might be some Mad Lad energy, but I am going to do it. Like, before I know what my opponent is doing, if I have the opportunity to play around this being like some bullshit mono blue Delver deck or something like that with Stifles and Dreadnoughts or something, like, I would want to do so. I think since I have double Matron, I'll just be jamming one into a Daze next turn. Okay, there's the fetch land to clear. Okay, so we are potentially just playing, yeah, against Blue-Red Delver. That my Ancient Tomb is gone. Ooh, Baubles, sure. So that will be the 4th card type. And my opponent will have looked at enough new cards that I can't really assume that they don't have counterspells anymore, but I think I'm just jamming. Like, I don't have a lot of time because Murktide Regent is a bullshit card. I could just play Snoop this turn and try to store mana in Snoop, if that makes sense. I think I'm going to do that, though. Yep, that's fine. I just think that there's a lot of worlds where I would end up having to sacrifice that Snoop when I would really like that card to be in play. Yep, great. Murktide Regent has arrived to turn this into a 2-turn game. I'm so tired of playing against this deck, folks. Like, I will put on the old smile for the audience, but the difference in power level between Blue-Red Delver and everything else going on in Legacy is fucking nuts. Alright. Play. Tempt Matron. Okay, Matron has resolved. I'll use this ability, yes. Just get Boggart Harbinger and win, right? No, I don't have black mana. That doesn't quite work yet. More specifically, I don't have double red and black. So let's get a Ringleader. Try to work our way up to Muxus instead. Get red mana off this Matron. Play Ringleader. See how we hit. Well. 1, 2, 3 cards. So we'll exile this for red. That brings me to 5. Play a new Ringleader. Alright, now we're finally doing the food chain thing. That was not great. We'll hit our 1 card. I'll exile this for red. Play a Snoop. The Matron on top. Okay. Now do I just have a deterministic win? Doesn't involve playing Muxus. Play Matron. Play Matron off the top. Get Boggart Harbinger. Sacrifice for black. Yeah, I should be good. Alright. There's the Matron. Ability. Yes. Get Harbinger. Oh, fuck. Summoning Sickness. Fuck. Okay. That's fine. We'll do this. That gets me to 5. I'm playing a Muxus around days. It's one of the big things that I care about right now. So I'll play that Ignoble Hierarch. Exile for red. Play Muxus. This will clear the top of my library. Alright, I have another Conspicuous Snoop. That was not great. This is activated abilities. Activated abilities. Haste is not an activated ability. That's a keyword. Is this where I am stopping? That's unfortunate. It feels like this is where I'm stopping. So, if my opponent can find... Oh. So if my opponent has double Lightning Bolt, I die here. That sucks. My removal spell doesn't kill their stuff. Alright, you got it? I guess I had one more line last turn of sack Snoop, play Boggart Harbinger, put something new on top, cast that. Yeah, fuck. Okay, yeah, so my line last turn should have been sacrifice this, black, 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 play Boggart Harbinger, put new Muxus on top, Muxus for Muxus. Fuck, okay, yeah. Alright, that was on me. I could have gone deeper. Alright, some number of Pyroblasts and Carpet of Flowers have to come in. Feel like a dog here. I think I'm going to bring these out and immediately replace those with carpets. I think this is going to be too cute and clunky to work a lot of the time. I don't want to draw those pieces individually. That'll get me carpets and some blasts. Then I don't know about the last card. One-shot sniper is really awkward because it doesn't actually kill all those things once they have 3 power or 3 toughness. I don't really want to draw this card. I'd rather just have a blast that kills something dead or protects a combo. Medium looking hand that I'll keep. Alright. Mountain Go. I'll have uncounterable Snoop. That'll probably eat a Lightning Bolt. Well, unfortunately, one of these cards will probably just eat a Daze or a Bolt. Oh, I just see myself running on empty pretty quickly, unfortunately. My opponent's deck is just so fucking good. Goblin. Like, I just have no real ability to play around their stuff because of how swift their clock is. Like, pre-Murktide Regent, like, you were usually taking 3 damage per hit per creature, and now, like, every time Murktide Regent is backed up, like, a daze into a Murktide Regent happens, it's just worth 5 or more damage pretty easily. Alright. I only take 1 this turn, thankfully. Opponent has 2 card types in there. I think on principles of mana efficiency, just going to jam the uncounterable creature first, and then play a food chain around a daze. If it looks like I somehow have enough things to combo off. Alright, opponent likes something off of that. Alright, there's a ponder to shuffle. Oh no, they don't even need a ponder to shuffle off of that. They can just fucking put the creatures that they put on top into their graveyard with Dragon Rage Channeler. And my opponent's gonna probably make a turn 4 Murktide and I'll die. Well, we got that going for me. Yeah. Alright, I'll take 6. Even if they don't have the Murktide, be dead very quickly anyway. I think I'm going to lose to a daze more or less no matter what. I can play Noble Hierarch and Skirk Prospector this turn, but then I'm not using my mana as efficiently as I can. I think if I win this game, it's because my opponent has 0 counter spells. Yep. So it goes. Like, I can play Noble Hierarch and Skirk Prospector around that, but then I just give them more time to find Force of Will to actually compete with one of my cards. Alright. Let's see if I'm effectively dead now. I take 6 down to 7, so Lightning Bolt or Murktide Regent or another Dragon Rage Channeler or Delver all mean that I'm dead. Yeah, there it is. Cool. Hey, Wizards, you remember, like, 3 or 4 months ago when you said you were keeping an eye on Legacy and you would address the format quickly if things were necessary? Do you remember that? I remember that. The Legacy community remembers that. Just saying. Okay, I think I'm going to keep a slow but reasonable hand here. Alright, this will just be a land go situation, and then I'll go for turn 2, Uncounterable Conspicuous Snoop, and we're going to work towards, like, Ringleader Food Chain being the primary thing I do that matters this game. We're playing against more Pox. If not Pox, Curses, or something of that general ilk. Honestly, I will take this all day over Delver. Like, give me something different. That Althea Voidwalker into Dark Confidant. Sure. That's pretty good. Like, I can play around Wastelands, or I can better play around, like, Sinkhole type effects. I don't think I'm going to play around Wasteland, because I think I'm going to be bad against it. Because I already have a Wastelandable land here that I'm going to play out in the not-too-distant future. I think I'm going to grab Badlands Taiga here, and at least put my opponent to a real test about what colors they want to deny. My opponent is a little less likely to have things like Smallpox, since they are playing Dalthy Voidwalkers and Dark Confidants. Alright. Library, you come down here. Another Bob. I'm going to have a very real choice next turn. Maybe I should have gotten double Taiga, actually. This getting wastelanded, or this green source getting wastelanded would have been pretty awkward for me. I was treating my Cavern of Souls like a tri-land, but it's not a true tri-land in this case. Okay, Bob's attacking. I don't think I want to make that trade here. Like, I have a food chain in hand that I can do some pretty degenerate shit with, depending on, like, whether or not some might. Can I win? Yes. Yes, I can. Yeah. Okay. All right, Goblin. Oh, wait, I can't. Okay, you food chain. You're not a goblin. Relax. Relax. All right, so we're gonna start this whole chain thing and make a whole bunch of these. Real quick, I'm just going to confirm that these give me mana when I sacrifice them. Yes, they do. Okay, I'm gonna make a bunch. All right, I've made a handful. Make some black mana with one of these. Play a Sling-Gang Lieutenant, and I can bleed my opponent out from there. Alright. Gonna kind of show my opponent that I can do this and hope they concede. Nope. Doing it the hard way. Luckily, through the power of editing, you don't have to watch all of that. Okay, there is a turn 3 food chain based kill versus my opponent's like mono black stompy deck, essentially. Like we've got Bobs, we've got Doughty Voidwalkers, we've got Rotting Regisaurs. Presumably there's some like Liliana of the Veil type stuff in there as well. We might have close to 0 cards for this matchup. Yeah, literal 0. Well, okay, maybe not literal 0. Like I can board out Pyroblast and like play a Warren Weirding or something. Magus isn't great. Actually, Trash Master is probably better than Warren Weirding. Fury might be worth doing for Bobs. Yeah, Fury's probably worth doing for Bobs. Gog Mons is any target too, right? Yeah. I don't really know what to cut. My deck seems reasonable. Romox? I don't know. Speed matters. I'm just trying to combo off. I know I just said speed matters, but like War Chief is probably not essential. This is a hand that has 5 mana towards casting a Muxus already. I think I'm just going to keep this and plan on using a Munitions Expert to like kill a Bob or something as my early game play. My Ancient Tomb is likely to deal me a shit ton of damage. I'm not going to be great versus just like a turn 1 Rotting Regisaur. Alright, my opponent kept on 6. See what they can do. Okay, no Dark Ritual. Ooh, I like that. I like that a lot, actually. So I'm just going to play a Mountain and pass. I have Ancient Tomb into Goblin Matron so that I can have a turn 2 play no matter what. It gets a little weird if my opponent plays Doughty Voidwalker because like Munitions Expert doesn't immediately kill that. Like the Ancient Tomb. Ooh. Okay. So they can play a 3-drop this turn. See what they can do. Ooh, a Sudden Edict. Okay. Those are good to know about. That's not unexpected. Okay. I have to be afraid of an opposition agent here. I think I'm going to respect that card and play out a Wooded Foothills in a way that's kind of awkward for my opponent. So if they have opposition agent and they go for it end of turn, I fetch in response. And otherwise they're forced to hold up that mana forever. Did I get my read right? 3 mana for opposition agent. Yep, I got my read right. So I will go ahead and fetch. This, unfortunately, is going to get me basic forest, so I don't get wastelanded. I do have this next turn. That gets me a lot of forgiveness. Like, I'm sad my Goblin Lackey is gone here, but this is 4 damage divided among any number of targets. That's pretty fucking legit. So I'll go to 16 here. And short of like a Rotting Regisaur type follow-up, I'm in a hell yeah, I'm in a fantastic position. All right, we're gonna junk the Munitions Expert here, which is not super castable. I'm not going to try to hold out to play this. I do not want this card getting like Hymn to Toroct. We'll do 2 damage to both of those. I'm trading 1 for 1 here, but that is all fine with me. I think I'm good with doing... Oh, fuck, no, I'm not good with doing that, actually, because I can't double spell. In that case, I'm going to correct for the mistake that I just made. So what I'm going to do here, essentially, is just mitigate the power of that Wasteland and make it so that if my opponent does not waste me and plays some 3-drop instead, I just get to slam a Muxus into play. Okay, there is the Wasteland. Ooh. What's the follow-up play? Another Plague Engineer is pretty rough. Lily's fine. I'll junk a Goblin Matron here. Keep my mana sources. Fine, I'd like both Seiju to get Wastelanded here. Send that at Lily. Exalted finishes her off. Alright, fantastic. Opponent didn't get too much value out of that. Play that as a land. Play out a Lackey. Alright, so I'm working towards hardcast Muxus, and I'm also working towards just get Lackey into the red zone. Lackey attacking as a 2/2 means that it would at least trade with opposition agent if that's something that happens. Fine. That's fine. Opponent's last card needs to be a removal spell for Lackey or a blocker. Alright. Let's attempt. Play around Sudden Edict already. I can trade with an opposition agent and be okay with that. Sudden Edict is fine. I will sack Ignoble Hierarch and get in with Muxus. Or rather, get in with Lackey producing a Muxus. Here we go. All right. Boggart Harbinger. Very actively bad. Or not. I just want to play this Goblin Matron. I'll get a Badlands. So we're gonna play this. Just Ringleader? Can't cast Ringleader. Very good to put in with Lackey, and if something goes wrong, it's nice to have something that lets me rebuild. Opponent's card needs to be great here, or they're just dead. Hey, we end up with the 60% league, 3-2 overall. Overall thoughts on the deck list. Let's see if we can get all of it on screen here, or most of it on screen. This deck seems very good against the things that it's good against, and very bad against the things that it is bad against. This is a deck that essentially has said, I will try to race opposing combo decks, and if that doesn't work, like, yeah, whatever, we tried. Like, there's always next round. I don't know that I love this deck in a world of Blue-Red Delver. Just, like, I know I'm beating the dead horse and saying that every video, but it seems to me like having 0 flying blockers in this world is, like, not fantastic. Like, I get that, like, you have a main deck Pyroblast that can help you deal with Murktide Regents, but, like, your munitions experts aren't going to remove Murktide Regent most of the time, right? And the Delver deck is putting me under enough pressure where I don't feel super great about, like, trying to resolve these things versus the Daze deck. Like, Cavernous Souls helps with that, but, like, your food chain doesn't get cast off of Cavernous Souls, right? So this was a pretty reasonable deck. Like, I had fun playing it, but, like, 2 of my wins were versus mono black decks, right? And one of my wins was a new Death and Taxes player who timed themselves out. So, like, this is a 3-2 on the scoreboard. This is not a, like, slam dunk. Like, yeah, we can consistently do better than that 3-2, I don't think. The all access tokens right now, it means the metagame is a little more varied than normal. But I don't know. I don't know how I feel about the sideboard. Like, I understand the reasoning for the stuff that's there, but I just feel like some of these cards are awkward. Like, Mass Vandal not always being able to remove stuff is super relevant versus decks like Death and Taxes. Magus of the Moon is, like, a free win card versus some decks, but, like, my mana base is a little sketch. If I were going to play this deck again, I would probably cut the Caracas for just another, like, on-color mana source of some kind. And I almost, like, don't think Boseiju is worth it in the deck either. Like, the deck has real mana requirements. Like, I want red and green on 1. I want black at some point around turn 3. And there's a lot of Wasteland decks in the format right now. I feel like the mana base is just, like, a touch too greedy. Although this respects Urza Saga, which is a huge pillar of the format, so, eh. Anyway, folks, I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please click the like button on the way out. It really, really, really does help. Have a great rest of the day. If you end up wanting to support my content financially or get one of your decks on the channel, there's a number of ways to do that. They're available in the video description. Have a great rest of the day. See ya!